Welcome to Durga's Tiger Tantra podcast. My name is Iris Disse. We are sitting here in Ecuador in our school in this moment. We share teachings of Tantra, yoga, arts and shamanism so that you can get a taste of it and how all this teaching dance together. We created this podcast and we really hope enjoy it. I hope. Welcome. Today I will share some information about freedom and love in romantic relationships. And at the end I will share a ritual which can help you to clean out emotions which were stored in between you. You don't want to have there because they disturb your erotical life and they disturb the communication in between you. Yes. So, what happens if I fall in love on an energetical level? So one thing which I mentioned already in love and freedom, polyamory and Tantric community is that we have to move the energy from the first and second chakra to my heart. So that is the work I have to do in every kind of intimate relationships. So when I really decided to stay just with one partner, it becomes a special energy pattern which is really interesting to look at. And it happens never always, but a lot of times. And it helps you to see that a lot of these patterns are really social patterns. There is nothing like, hey, it seems I'm the only loser in love. Always if I fall in love, it doesn't work the way I would love to, the way that I feel free and loving. Usually I feel dependent in some way, or I feel my partner is falling into me and I have to step back, and then my partner suffers, even so I don't want him or her to suffer. So that is a scene we will just dance around today. Okay, on an energetical level, what happens when I fall in love? So all my hormones, my happiness hormones, my nesting hormones just come up, rise up, and create something that I feel, wow, you are the one and only. You are the one I waited for. You are the one I just want to share all my life with. And you are perfect, and you are beautiful, and you are making me so happy. You make me so very happy. I just want to have you in my life. So this is what I feel. In this moment, at the beginning, when I'm just still free and I just feel this attraction, the energy rises like this. No, it's like a snake where I come together, we meet, it's so beautiful, we let go a little bit. I just dream about the last meeting and we meet again. So the energy is moving like this. And as long as love energy moves in these sort of snakes which are dancing around, in this moment I feel free and loving. So now it happened that we start to make love. And it is so freaking beautiful and perfect, I feel, that I really start to hook in. So as a woman, what happens socially is no matter how free I am in my head, or whether I'm a professor or I'm a manager, or whether I'm a simple woman, it happens nearly to all of us the same. Suddenly we feel that we are hooked, that we are longing. Our longing is like a stream of longing towards our beloved, that we are waiting again at our telephone. Did he write us? Did he talk with us? Will he call? What's happening? We start to be maybe jealous. We are just feeling totally small and dependent, and feel that in some ways, and we don't know why, we do give our power away to the other one, and feeling pretty helpless in this film we suddenly feel that we are in. Usually, not always, that happens to us women, not when we are just having lovers. It usually happens in the moment we find our great love, the one and only. When this hooks in, then this hooking really happens, that I feel I lose my power and suddenly I depend on you. And where is this proud, beautiful, strong, intelligent, decision-making woman I have been before? Just somewhere lost on the way. In this moment, what happens, usually, not all the time, with my partner. So my partner, with his male energy, suddenly, who fell in love and was maybe even hunting a long time, this proud, beautiful, crazy woman, suddenly feels, where is she? She's gone. And suddenly this independent woman is somehow falling inside me. And she's looking at me with big longing eyes all the time. And I feel, Chuta, that's somehow too much. I need to breathe. I need my freedom. So what happens is, even if also the partner loves a lot, this energy hook the female part of us puts into the male part makes that I have to step a little bit back. It's too much. In this moment, I feel, why is he stepping back? So I go after him as I'm hooked in. So the more I fall energetically into him, he steps more back. No? So that is what usually happens. And that creates socially something very interesting. It creates the image that men say, I want to be free. I always want to be free. I love my woman. I love my partner. But somehow, sometimes it's just too much. And I have to step away. I have to do my own things. And then, yes, I come home and I love you. But yeah, it's getting too much for me. And we women feel always, if I really love somebody, they just step away. Why? And why I'm losing so much my power, so why I suddenly, a stream of wanting energy goes towards him. Okay, so this energy pattern, which is from a tantric point of view a wrong energy pattern, because it creates dependencies and wrong pictures, and it creates a totally wrong picture what is male or what is female energy, or what is male and what is female typically, has a story, and it has a story in history. We are living, or we lived in thousands of years of a patriarchal society. What does that mean in this context? That means that the whole society was built up that the woman is depending on the man. So just imagine that in time of my mother, when she wanted to keep on studying to become a teacher, she had to ask my father permission in a written form. If my father would have said no, it would have been no way that she could study. My mother. My grandmother, no, the sister of my father, so my father's generation, she couldn't marry because she was the director of a lyceum, higher school, gymnasium, college, I think. And she would have had, by law in Germany, give her job up. That's what she told me when she married. So a married woman was forbidden to work. That means she was forbidden to have her own money. It's forbidden to be independent. So that means that women were totally depending on their men. And also socially it meant time of my mother again, not very long ago, to be when I was a child, to be a divorced woman and even living alone with your kid. That was hell for the woman and hell for the kid. No other family, no girlfriend would anymore invite you to parties where men and women were together. What in this time usually we have been like this, or in any context where men and women were together. It could be that you, being a single woman, just take the men away, and then what happens? So you had a stigma socially, you had no power, and you had no money. So what women really learned in this thousand of year of totally dependent, or remember of Virginia Woolf, this big writer who wrote A Room for Me Alone, and who killed herself at the end because he could never step out of her dependency of her partner, who tried to heal her depression by just locking her times into a room and feeding her until she was fat, thinking because then he was a doctor, maybe she loses her depression. So by force. So all these things, it's still in our unconscious. We don't have to go so far to the witches which had burned all the wise women, midwives, healers. Even that is still in our memory. But just, I mean, my mother, that's pretty close. If you can imagine this, it's very difficult to imagine meanwhile, because we think, hey, we are so independent and that can never happen to us again. Who knows? But it's still happening in our subconscious. And in the moment, in this time, women learned that we have to hook into our men, and we have to be with them, and we have to admire them, and we have to look up to them, even if we don't really do it inside, but to look up and with admiration to hold him. And all that what we do is the wrong information, because again, what I tried to describe at the beginning, he will step back. But it is not because he is a man, it is because this is an energy pattern. Everybody steps back. So just talk about my history. I was a pretty successful actress. And that means that after shows, men were just waiting for me and wanted me and ta 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 ta. So, and I connected with a man like this, and I had some beautiful nights with one man, and I didn't hook. Then suddenly the men started to hook. So, and I remember I was just traveling, having different performances in different cities on different festivals. So I started to travel, and suddenly someone from Munich, a lover, started to show up in Hamburg and was, I love you so much and you are everything. And I didn't really know what to do with him. So it was the same energy design, energy pattern, just from the other side. That means always, if this is a good relation, love or deep friendship, intimate relation, I come close, 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 close. Wow, is it beautiful? I love you so much. So now we fall together. Wow, ecstasy. And then after the ecstasy, the natural love flow wants that I just go again and start on moving in my life. And I enjoy this memory. And then here we meet again, ecstasy. And we open up and we meet again. Love is something what want to be recreated all the time. But that is what we don't learn. We learn one time, we fall in love, we have this ecstasy, and now we should hold on to it and it should be there forever. So what happens is, no, in the no, and now it happens like this. So you should think what I think. You should want what I want. I want to make love. You don't want to make love. You don't love me anymore. All the dramas now start with this. I try. I hold still my love, but I don't feel it anymore. So it is really a hurting pattern. So in this moment now, it depends on your character. You can say, okay, you are not the right partner. You are not as I thought you are. So you have to go because you are not enough for me. Can be. Or you are the one who starts to suffer and say, I'm never enough for my partners. I know I'm not enough. You go into your self-pity spiral down. and uh, all this lack of self-worth that a lot of us women we have. So that is one part of the spiral when it starts to do like that. The other one, you stay together, you are loving, and one is free, and the other one tries to hold the free one and suffers. So then, and again, dramas. No. But what is the chance in modern time, in this moment, where men and women can earn money, where a woman can be alone without a man or husband, or even divorced, and it's no problem anymore. In this moment, I think there is a chance, the first time in thousands of years, really for love. So that a man and a woman, or a woman and a woman, and a man can really go for love. Not for the role society printed us for. No, like printed us for? Yeah, you know what I mean. So it means now I don't need you anymore to earn my money. I don't need you as a woman to be the chef, to tell me what to do. But yes, I need you. I need you for my heart. I need you for this dance of love and passion. I need you because I want to go a path together with you and learn from you. I need you because you are so different. And I would love to learn from your different energy, the different way of how you do things than I do my things. And I would like to love and respect you and learn from you and vice versa. So that men and women are there to discover each other and reality through being different but both totally strong, different energy fields just dancing together like in electricity. Plus and minus create the energy, the electricity. If you start to say, oh no, plus is much better, I only want plus, minus I don't like, then there is no energy flowing. If you say, no, minus is better, no, you plus here, I don't like you, I stay with my minus. No energy is flowing. And that is the same with male-female energy. Sure, again, male-female energy can be also inside of me. If I'm a couple of man-man or woman-woman, very often maybe it shifts, but one represents more his or her male energy and the other more his or her female energy. In the tantric little rituals, for example, a massage which you can give yourself before making love, the male and female energy starts to be equilibrated. For example, everybody gives and takes. So first one partner gives the massage and the other really opens up to receiving. And then the other partner does it, vice versa. Now the passive one becomes active and the other one becomes an active, passive one, an active receiver. So that is really interesting because even so it seems that now you start to equilibrate this male and female energy and now somehow there is less. It doesn't happen. The equilibrated energy and relaxed energy starts to create that on a very subtle form. The real male and female energy starts to awaken. And you don't need this, what is shown in the film, that passion is, I want you so much that I just rip my clothes or you rip my clothes off and we just fall into love and then pack and ready. Wow. Very often after a passionate encounter like this, both or one stays somehow sad. Because all what happened was that you very fast, with high energy, went over all these little signs and how you can call this, the little signs and things which are happening in between you, which makes this love grow and makes this passion grow in a conscious way. In Tantra, it is lovemaking and love, and man-woman love, or man-man, woman-woman love, this passionate romantic love is made, is there to become more conscious. To become more conscious means love in our root chakra, and in this second chakra, the chakra of our relations. So earth and water elements are the ones which create this longing for a partner. No, and here are stored a lot of memories from old times, from my antepasados, from my ancestors, from women, from men, which had come before me. And so that is the one where all these patterns start to happen. And there the lovemaking is usually not very conscious. You come together, and what I say, every film shows you this, nearly every film. Love is this yeah. In Tantric, they say, no, that is not getting conscious, because it's the strongest energy we have is this love-making energy in the first and second chakra, in the first and second energy wheel we are having down here, a little bit above our perineum and in the middle of our belly. And from here, slowly, the energy rises up. That's how it rises up. So the more conscious I get, the more the energy rises. So what we can see in many of the films, which is then told as passion and deep, passionate, loving sexuality, very often is this moment where you are just fall one over the other because you cannot stop it anymore, and you just rip your clothes off and you forget it all. You forget your shame, you forget all the things which these little sensitive things of just looking into each other's eye, being close, all this tension which is built up to create a conscious lovemaking, and you just do it together like boom. And this sort of doing it together, and with like both have a sort of orgasm, just relief, very often leaves us pretty lonely after the act, because we jumped over too unconsciously about what I say, over too many things which are really happening inside us. So are we really wanted? Do you really like me? Is there a deeper intimacy? What else? Our shame very often of being seen naked. Even so, in this moment, the passion makes and the hormones make that it's not important. But after, am I beautiful enough? Am I strong enough? Did I make it right? Very often from the man is the question, hey, was it okay? So it's a sort of very unconscious way to jump into lovemaking. From the tantric point of view, everything is okay. What I say, no moral. It is a lovemaking which is used to create children. That is this. I just cannot do anything else. I just jump up to us. We jump up to each other. And it's coming from the first and second chakra, that are energy wheels, which inhabit a lot of psychological memories from our ancestors, from our own life since we are born, and even what happened when we were in the vientre, in the womb space of our mothers, and what is said even from former lives. So, and this unconscious lovemaking creates just a very little orgasm, which is just really located in our sexual organs, creating, wait, a little circle like this. Yeah. And tantric lovemaking, if it gets slower and more conscious, just brings up the energy like this, like this. It's conscious. Together we breathe, together we bring it up. We step slowly in, and then from there it comes into our heart, and we really open up, and being open and being conscious, and we can look at each other's eyes, and maybe we can even say and talk without losing this, hey, a little slower, or yes, or it's okay, or whatever comes in this moment. But it could even be, wait a moment, I'm thinking all the time. At the moment something happens, and the other understands, he don't have to say, oh, it's not important, da, 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 da. It is just, oh yeah, okay, that's happening with you. Let's make a little break, and on we go. Yeah, so this would be a more conscious way. And if then in this much slower way it comes to an orgasm, then usually it is coming in a wave, coming up, 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 and from there just opening up, and your whole body is starting to shiver and every cell is dancing in an orgasm. So it's a very different way to bring the energy up. And what we want to do with Tantric lovemaking is not only bringing it up, but bringing it, opening the channel, Shushumna channel, the energy channel which connects that with the earth and with the sky and helps us to bring the energy from the deepest earth into the sky. And open up to this moment where men and women, or men, women, become one again beyond time and space. And that is the deepest longing we are having in romantic relationships. Our body knows that there is a possibility of feeling that our divine parts meet again, and being in a material body. Yes, I'm a woman and I'm having hormones like a woman. So there, and you are man, like for me it would be the man, and you are having hormones like a man. So we react different towards reality. We are living in a way in two realities. What I said already, but we can explore each other. And through this conscious lovemaking, we can come together in a way where even our souls, which are not men and they are not women, they are just oneness, this little spark of divine energy we're having, where they can meet beyond time and space and feel that they are one, and they can meet, and with this energy, for these moments, sacred moments of grace, we can be one also with the divine and know, wow, yes, we are one. So there everything opens. If we get out of a lovemaking like this, we are totally free. We don't hook. We don't feel any more. It is just a sacred feeling of gratefulness. Wow. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Great Spirit, God, Mother, Father, for this moment of grace. So, and it is not, Tantra says it's not very complicated, but there are little rituals we have to do together and alone. The thing is, usually we learn we just have to wait for the perfect partner, and then my life is solved and my longings are solved. And in lovemaking, from alone, it just will happen. He will, talking as a woman, he will know what to do to touch me and to fulfill my deepest longing. He will know that how we are educated, he knows. And he who doesn't know, how shall he? Because there is no male education, no male initiation reads to help them to understand how it works. So I cannot tell him, and he should, and he feels he should know, but how should he? So there, and the shyness make that we cannot express it, we cannot talk about it. So that leaves us in very often after time, when the first romantical swell comes down again, into deep frustration. And that happens to a lot of couples, meanwhile, that young couples who are longer together than 4 or 5 years, suddenly lovemaking totally goes down. And they just say it's too much work, and if you even have kids, and the kids, and that's another thing, another theme about love and freedom and relationships is that usually in this in the love film, society gives us love and sex should be spontaneous all the time. So in a society where nothing is spontaneous anymore, where I have my hours of work, where I see my friends only planned after making telephone calls and say, yeah, I see, let's meet in a week or two, or I don't know when, where everything around me is planned in a time schedule, suddenly there should be this spontaneous time, deep time of connection. And if you have kids, even to bring them into the kinder, to pick them up, to organize all this day in a city, bring them to, I don't know, piano lesson, football, whatever the kids need. So I become taxi driver, or both of them, of the kids in the city, because they cannot walk alone anymore. It's dangerous today, one say. So how should there be this moment of passion and love? How, if you don't plan it? So in Tantra, again, it's about conscious lovemaking, and that gives you a lot of freedom. That means that minimum once a week, you just create a time frame, no kids, no work, no telephone, where you decide, hey, that is our time for intimacy. How long it is, every couple has to find out. No, in my relation, I can say 4 hours was a very good time. Because these rituals, if you have 4 hours, you can first eat something light together, maybe have a glass of champagne and say ching ching, or run around the block just to bring the energy up again and get out of the head, or dance together crazy and make little funny things, rock and roll, or whatever you like, or side trance, I don't know, just move the energy together, laugh together, totally important. And then from there, for example, you say, okay, now let's make a little massage. First I give you, then you give me. From there, maybe you just come together and breathe together. Conscious breathing, just hugging each other and breathe together a time. Maybe open your eyes and look a while into your eyes. Meanwhile, you breathe together. Oh, and then little by little, your body relaxes, your mind relaxes. And from there, with this very slow, conscious, and knowing I have time, maybe you make a little, we call this monodialogue, where one starts to talk, the other only listens, and you decide before how long it will be. Maybe 15 minutes you talk and I just listen, then 15 minutes I talk and you just listen, where I'm standing in this moment, where you are standing in this moment. Wow, all this brings me down into myself, and from that point I can start to open up to receive you. No? So that really helps to create love in between a couple, trust and intimacy. And from love, trust, and intimacy, you come to the next step, which is my freedom. And again, my freedom, if I decided to be with you in a romantic relationship, my freedom is to be with you. And if we two decided that it will be now a monogam relationship, that we don't want, for as long as we are just on this path, we don't want other sexual connections with other partners, then in this moment, I just stick to it and I trust that the other one will too. And in Tantra, as I would never promise something until the end, until my death, because they're very dangerous, too long, no? But to say, okay, let's agree that this year we are really monogam, or 2 years, and then we talk about it again. Or if somebody feels, oops, I would like to have a lover, so how strong is this feeling? Do I have to talk now? But always, if it's somehow possible, talk before, because if you're conscious, you will feel it before that something inside you starts to hunt again. No, energetically, you don't have to do a lot. It's just an energy change, a shift. And then you talk and say, hey, you know what? When we now just said this or that, it's changing in this moment inside of me. So what can we do? How do you feel it? And blah, blah. So in a tantric conscious relationship, what creates freedom is always communication about what's happening with me and also my longings in a very respectful way. One of the main keys, really, to create this sort of feeling of freedom and trust. That is one thing. So that's why the rituals are so important, because they create this safe space where the things can develop themselves. There will be another podcast about rituals, so I leave it there now. And at the end, we will share a little one. So I really would wish every couple to find this space together, again, because this space, if both hold on to it, create love. Sometimes, very often, if you decide now with your partner, okay, let's do it, 4 or 3 hours minimum, don't make it too short, then it stresses again. We are together, then what is important to know is that very often for other women, it is totally important that my partner is really there and he's there on time and he has no important telephone calls to do or whatever outside, that he's really present. Very often for the women, for the men, it is more important when we said 3 or 4 hours that it can really end. And a ritual has a beginning and an end, and that then afterwards he can step out without feeling bad. No, usually we say after the ritual it's good that 1 hour you really have time for yourself, take time, and when then together you decide, okay, let's come together again, it's okay, but if one partner doesn't want, it's very important that you don't start to hook and say, oh, but it's so beautiful, but why you always then leave if it's the most beautiful and blah, blah, blah. No, it's a beginning and an end. And then is one very important thing, I'm totally allowed to take my energy back to me. And that is something very simple. I just inhale what I just did. And again, I just inhale. And then I imagine with this inhalation, I take all the energy I was spreading in the space, I just take it back towards me. So I'm whole again and you are whole again. And that means in another ritual we can share another time, it's I am free and you are free. So remember the spiral. So, hey, we are free to meet again, to recreate our love. Because like this, it will stay just hooked and it will become less and less and less. One other thing which is interesting from the tantric point of view, which creates this responsibility you have for yourself and for your love and for your feelings and emotions. And this is that at the beginning I said, if it happens that I am so much in love, you are the perfect partner. And then after a year or two, I said, no, you are not like I thought you are. You are totally different. You are not enough for me, and I just sent you away. Or so suddenly the perfect partner, you are not so sure anymore whether he or she is perfect. And you have said that you maybe had an error when you choose this partner. And yeah, so maybe you know this phase of first is enchantment and then it's a disenchantment. So from the tantric point of view, they say it's both a lie. When you projected all your big love energy to this partner, you used the plus minus pole, or if you are one woman and it's a man, or man in his male. Yeah, I talked about it. So if you take this energy, then you project it onto the other partner. So I, as a woman, project my inner man to this partner, and the more he is similar to my inner man, the more I can love him as a woman, or it's the same for a man, for a woman. Yeah. So now I love him. And then suddenly this man, as he's not my inner man, he's a totally independent person, he just got the projection of my inner man. That is when I fall crazy into love, starts to move behind the picture, and you see it's the person behind this who is not totally like I thought he is, because what I projected was my inner perfection. So in this moment, it happened that I feel, no, you are wrong for me. And now Tantra said, you know what? That was a lie you did to yourself. A positive lie, but it's a lie. Because you didn't see the real person. Not because it was hiding, it was because you didn't want to see it. And now your disenchantment also is a lie. Because this person you still don't see. Now you see that this person is just not your inner projection. And now comes a very interesting point. when you meet in this sort of ritual of 3-4 hours once a week, very consciously you project that this partner you are with in this moment is a representation of the Shiva or the Shakti energy. So we women are a representation of the goddess and the Shakti, and the men are representation of Shiva, of the men. So I know it's a lie. I know I'm lying. It's just a game. And I'm still angry maybe with his partner and say, no, but he did this and this, or man, she is always like blah, blah, blah. But now consciously you lie. It's about consciousness. Now, in this moment, she is my Shakti, he is my Shiva. Very interesting what happens. I went through all these processes because I'm now with my partner more than 35 years. And so all this, I know the enchantment, I know the grace, and I know the total anger and disenchantment and until hatred toward him, no? And understanding it's all not him, it's all my projections on both sides. But in the moment, even when I was really angry with him and we stuck to the ritual which we had planned, we found out very often I got angry or he got very tired or forgot it. So when I got furious, I could close the door and I didn't go into the ritual, just slam the door and say, with this man, never. Or he would just say, oh, I'm so tired, I just forgot it, you know. So then when we understood it, that this was a way of us to run away from love and intimacy, and we stick to it, and then we onto the other one, we just projected the Shiva Shakti picture. Suddenly, within a second, from totally not wanting and being bored or being angry, it switched into, wow, there you are again, into passion of seeing the other. And it's the magic what happens. And I can just tell you, play and try it out. Just your partner is always your Shiva, if it's a man, or always the Shakti, it's a woman, in time of your rituals. And the longer you can hold it also in your everyday life, the more harmonious your everyday life will become. So that is one of the little rituals I would like to have shared with you. And I would be really curious when you try what happens. And we are very happy if you write us and if you tell us. And also, there is another thing. If you have questions, just write them down too, and send them to us, because like this, we can just, another day, I can just answer your questions. Hey, who have a really beautiful day and days, and a very intimate, crazy, beautiful recreation and creation of your love. And until the next time. Thank you for listening. Ciao. Thank you for listening to our podcast. It was really great to share with you. I enjoyed it. And I would totally appreciate if you write us questions, insights, your wishes. You become co-creator of the next episodes. You find us under www.durgasteigerschool.com and in our Instagram. So have a great day.